First down and 10. Osweiler's running game not working. Throws it downfield for a first down. They go on the attack, and that is Mike Willie. And Willie is coming off a huge game. He caught 7 balls last week for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns.
You can see the double slant takes the linebacker more to the middle of the field, opening up a nice passing lane that time. And Brock Osweiler so far, Brent, really in rhythm throwing the football. 5 of 7 with a touchdown so far.
And it did not take Oregon long to get Cliff Harris on the field. Out of the doghouse, and he's out there to see what he can do about this passing attack. He's on the corner right now as they slip one to Miles. Try to get him a blocker, and Boyette, their fine safety from Napa, California, up to make the stop for the Ducks. That is Harris.
Now Osweiler, when he is throwing Brent often, he's getting the ball out of his hands in less than 2 seconds. Makes it very tough for Oregon to get pressure on him.
Noel Mazzoni has been working on that release for 2 years. And there he is, snapping it off again, just on cue, Herbie. And that is Jarrell Robinson, who scored their touchdown, making his 2nd grab of the night.
A nice job again. This kid is really seeing the field right now and making good decisions. That time, another slant. This time, he goes to the inside slant. The receiver got behind the linebacker, Stuckey, and he threw it where only his man Robinson could make a play on it, behind the linebacker and in front of the safety.
The Sun Devils at the Ducks 42. Slip it outside. Basically, that's a running play, and Marshall's going nowhere. Surrounded, and Eddie Pleasant, who a couple of years ago was a linebacker here, and then last year moved to safety, and Aliotti telling us that he's really starting to learn how to play the position.
Nice to see Eddie Pleasant in coverage. In the past, he was more of a physical linebacker and safety, and this year, because of the lack of experience in certain spots, he's had to cover out in space, and he's been able to make plays in space because of his athletic ability.
8 straight completions for Osweiler. Makes it 9 complete and picks up another first down as they cross the 30-yard line. And that time it was George Bell's first grab of the game.
See, they're spreading Oregon from sideline to sideline, and then they're attacking back to the inside. They're picking on the linebackers and also man-to-man coverage. It's a long way to go if you're a corner and you're in man-to-man coverage, running across the entire field trying to stay with these wide receivers.
10 straight completions. Miles, the motion man, picks up another 8 yards, and the ball will be spotted right there. So Osweiler, 9 of 11 overall for 87 yards and a touchdown. And there is Dennis Erickson, who before last season turned over the play calling duties to Noel Mazzoni. And Mazzoni has worked as a quarterback coach and done a terrific job with Brock Osweiler, who's a junior. There is Mazzoni. His son is also a graduate assistant, as is our colleague Bob Davies' son, Clay Davey, who's up here in the booth with the coaches. And now here's tonight's conference update, brought to you by Dr. Pepper 10. And Herbie, what do you make of these finals? Thursday night, of course, the Trojans pulled away from the Bears.
Well, Utah is able to get out of conference and get a win, but you look at this Washington team, they continue to get better and better with Steve Sarkisian, and every time you look up, Stanford's kind of off the radar, it seems like at times, but they continue to win by 30 points. And Stanford and Washington next week, pivotal game in the Pac-12 out at Palo Alto.
And, of course, a big game in East Lansing, Michigan. Wisconsin goes in to play the Spartans. Michigan State has lost only once. That was in South Bend. The Badgers beat up on Indiana, one of the undefeated teams, and that a key game in the Big Ten next week. It'll be Wisconsin at Michigan State. So that one was ruled a lateral and not a forward pass. So Osweiler is working on a string of 9. The 10th one was actually a lateral.
They're late to come out of that timeout. They got him for a delay of game. Dennis Erickson frustrated. The play clock was running down coming out of the timeout. Arizona State was leisurely coming out, lined up without huddling. But what they didn't realize is the play clock was already moving.
A costly 5, 2nd and 7 as the result. Osweiler downfield battle, hit touchdown. A throw to Mike Willie, the young man we told you about. The JC transfer out of Long Beach, California, now a senior, and he's showing the scouts some goods.
So is Brock Osweiler, and we're going to take a close look to make sure he got his feet down. He's got the football, he's got his feet down, and he looks, he gets into the end zone, balls across. But Brant, I'll tell you what, if you're an Arizona State fan, this is good news. This quarterback last week, I think, grew up in a second half against Utah. It's continued early in this game against Oregon. It's a mismatch so far on the outside between the taller receivers and the Oregon cornerbacks.
Much cleaner by Garut that time.